Hello lovely book dragons and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Joana and I love to talk about books on this channel, specifically fantasy books. And today I have a book haul for you. It's been a while since I've done a book haul on my channel. I have hauled books all this year. Don't worry, I have bought a lot of books this year. I just have never filmed a book haul. And I didn't want to do a recap book haul of everything that I have bought since then. So I just decided that I was gonna do a little book haul, a Parisian book haul, because I went to Paris last weekend to hang out with my friend Sarah over at Kinds of Insanity on Instagram. I will leave her Instagram down below. It's just pure aesthetic, pure beauty. So you need to go follow her. And we had the most lovely day walking in the Parisian streets. It was such nice weather. It was the end of October and we had 25 degrees Celsius and it was so warm and it was so nice. It was lovely, lovely, lovely. We ended up going for brunch, we ended up going for tea, and we ended up going to 5 different bookshops, and I ended up buying 7 books. Plus I got 4 books off of her shelves, and I had 2 books that I had ordered online because I wasn't sure I was going to find them in the Paris shops. So I'm going to show them to you as well, even though they're not technically Paris books. They're still books that I got within the last week. So let's jump right in and talk about the books that I ended up getting in Paris and or around that time. First of all, I'm going to talk about the 2 books that I ordered online that I didn't know if I was going to find in shops. And the first one is The River of Silver by S.A. Chakraborty. This is a collection of short stories in her Daevabad world. And if you don't know, the Daevabad trilogy is one of my all-time favorite trilogies. I love it with all my heart. It is probably, at this moment in time, probably my second favorite trilogy of all time, right after Mistborn. So that is pretty high praise. So I knew this was coming out. It's pretty short, to be honest. The audiobook of this has been out for a while, but of course I needed to add this to my shelves because, like, look at this cover. One of my favorite trilogies of all time. Of course I needed to own this. I bought this and I'm very, very excited to get to this. Next up, guys, my life in the past 2 months has been absolutely and fully taken over by The World of Ice and Fire again. It's my favorite series of all time. I mean, it's hard to say because it isn't done. It's hard to say because I haven't actually finished reading it, even the ones that are out. I haven't read the last 2 books ever because I was so, I don't know, I felt like finishing at Storm of Swords is like a moment in time where I was like, I'm good finishing here. I don't want to read more. And so it's hard to say because the thing is, I know so much about this world because I've looked at so much stuff. I've read so many excerpts and essays and watched so many videos, and it is literally my all-time favorite world. I know the history of that world better than I know the history of our own world. I can give you like the kings as they come in order without looking. I can do, until all the characters in the dance, I can do the Targaryen freaking family tree. Like, I love this world so, so, so much. I've always loved this world. And with House of the Dragon coming out, I have been fully re-immersed in my obsession. I was watching so many pre-episode live streams, and then I was watching the episodes, and then I was watching the post-episode live streams. I was watching so many recaps, even though I know exactly what happened in that episode because I'd watched it 2 times already. But I was watching every single review out there. I was watching every single video. I was looking at all the memes. I was just like, I'm obsessed again. I'm obsessed with this world. I have read Fire and Blood since then. I loved it so much. So when I knew that The Rise of the Dragon was coming out, I didn't even, like, this was not a question. I was gonna get this the second it came out. And the day it came out, I ordered it. And I mean, come on. Like, just this art. This is, An Illustrated History of the Targaryen Dynasty, Volume 1, and it is full-colored illustrations. Like, these are just stunning. Here's the big picture of what's on the back. This is Queen Alysanne, the good Queen Alysanne on Silverwing, and King Jaehaerys on Vermithor. Like, look at that. Like, just look at that. Fully colored, illustrated. I have flicked through all of them. My obsession with this world is back. Now on to some books that I got off of Sarah's bookshelves. She was doing an unhaul because she needed to create space on her shelves, and she asked me, hey, are there any books you want? And I saw these 4 and I said, yes, I want them. The first one I have here is The Devil Makes Three by Tori Bovalino. This is the, I think, Fairy Loot edition or Illumicrate or something like that. This is a special edition that came out in one of the book boxes last year. I actually have the paperback of this. I read this one last year in my Dark Academia Volume 1 video, which I can leave a link up here if you want to check it out. And I wasn't a huge fan of the paperback edition, but it's the only one I could find. But she was getting rid of this one, and I thought this cover is so pretty. And I ended up really enjoying this book. It was a cute YA fantasy about 2 students who kind of unleash the devil out of a book that they shouldn't have trifled with, but they did. And it is YA, but it was really fun. It was atmospheric. I just have fond memories of reading this. And when I saw that she was getting rid of this copy, I decided to snag it up for myself because I think it's so pretty and I wanted it for my shelves. Next up, we have Lightbringer by Claire Legrand. This is the final book in her Fury song. Is that what it's called? Fury Born. In her Fury Born series. I don't know if this one has another, if this series has another name. I don't know. All I know is that I read the first book years and years and years ago when it first came out, and I haven't continued on with the series. I own the first and the second book, and I wanted to get this third book, but I didn't want to pay full price in case I didn't end up loving the series. And when I saw that she was getting rid of it in the hardcover, I asked her, can I take it off of you, or do you want to sell the whole series as a thing? She's like, no, you can have it. So here it is. I didn't have to pay for it, which is wonderful because the Imperium Trilogy, that's what it's called, the Imperium Trilogy. So yeah, I have this one now. I can finish the series off if I like it. If not, I'll probably get rid of it, but I do love these covers so much. All the covers in this series are just stunning. And I ended up really liking the first book when I read it, but I don't know if I would upon reread. I do need to reread it and continue on. All I remember is that we have two prophesied queens, one to bring the dark, one to bring the light, and they are centuries apart and something like that, and you follow multiple POVs, and that's all I remember. So this is a series that I do need to reread the first one and then continue on, and hopefully I will like it. And if so, I now have the last book ready to go. So thank you, Sarah, for making this happen. And then Sarah was fueling my obsession with I'm not going to talk much about these books because there's some controversy surrounding the author, and I don't really want to go into that. I love these books so much. These books mean a lot to me. I have loved them for years now, and this will also always be one of my favorite trilogies of all time. I love it so much, and that is the Nevernight Chronicles by J. Kristoff. And first of all, Sarah was getting rid of the UK hardcover of God's Grave. Do you know how rare it is to find this book? Do you know how rare it is? Do you know how expensive these are on the internet? And when I saw it in her unhaul, I was like, honey, I need this. If you're getting rid of it, I'm taking it off your hands. The pages are a bit yellowed. I don't even really dare go much into it because I don't want to ruin it, but this is a prized possession, and this one is my favorite book in the trilogy. And I am so happy that she had this and that she was getting rid of it. Thank you so much, Sarah, for giving this to me. You have no idea how happy this makes me. Now my only hope and dream is to find the UK hardcover of Nevernight one day, and then I have a complete set, and then I will be... My little collector's heart will be super happy. I have since ordered the Literary Crate editions of these as well, thanks to Sarah, which I will definitely unbox on here at some point, one in my next book haul, because, oh my goodness, those are stunning. Basically, in this series, in the first one we follow our main character Mia Corvair, and her whole family has been killed, and she's basically on a revenge path to avenge what happened to her family. That's basically the pitch of this. I love it. The second book is a bit more gladiator-y, and I love this series. And along the same lines, she gave me this is also the Fairy Loot or the Illumicrate, I never know, edition of Dark Dawn. This is now my third copy of Dark Dawn. I have the regular UK hardcover. I have this one with the sprayed edges, which is signed by the author, and it has the little, it's Illumicrate, yeah. We have the little letter from the author. It's signed by J. Kristoff, and yeah, I have this edition, the UK hardcover regular one, because I did buy that one the second it came out. And I have a paperback which was gifted to me by one of my friends, Ruby, from Australia, where she met with J. Kristoff and he signed it personalized to me. So that one's also a prized possession. And yeah, now I have another edition of Dark Dawn with one of my favorite animal companions in the whole wide world, Mr. Kindly, on the cover. I love it. Those were the books that I got from Sarah. Thank you so much, Sarah, for gifting these to me, for letting me take them off your shelves. I know you're happy because you have more space, and I'm happy because I have amazing books, so thank you. And now onto the books that we bought together in the bookshops of Paris. I am so excited. First of all, the book that I was hunting, this was my mission. This was the book I was going for. If I left Paris without this book, I was gonna be devastated. Not really, because I could order it online. But you know, like, I very rarely go into bookshops because, okay, you need to know I live in Luxembourg. We have one English bookshop for the whole entire country, and that bookshop is probably the size of my library right here. Like, not the shelves, but the space is roughly a bit bigger than this, but not very much bigger. So they're very limited in options. And so I very rarely go in and buy books in a bookshop. So going to Paris and buying 7 books in a bookshop, yes, I'm paying more than I would pay on Amazon, but you're not there to support Amazon. You're here to support bookshops, real life bookshops. And there's nothing like going into a bookshop, seeing the book you want, grabbing it off the shelf, and just being so freaking happy. That's literally what happened with this one. We had gone, out of the 5 bookshops, we had gone to 3 already, and I kept on seeing the paperback of this. And I was like, I want the hardcover because it's a new release. I have the first one in hardcover. I need the hardcover. And then we walked into the fourth bookshop, and Sarah just like takes off, and she just like, I see her grab a book off the shelf. She's like, Joana, here it is. And I was like, oh my goodness, here it is indeed. The Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake, one of my most anticipated releases of the year, the sequel to the Atlas 6. I read the Atlas 6 earlier this year and absolutely freaking adored it. I gave it a 5 stars. I loved it. Here we are, Atlas Paradox. Oh, there's a bookmark in here. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, I'm so excited to read this. I can't wait. Literally, this is the next book I'm going to read. I am so excited for this. So in the Atlas 6, we follow 6 main characters who are magical people, and they get taken into the Alexandrian Society by this mentor figure. And he says, okay, we are going, the 6 of us going there to this Alexandrian Society, to this library. And the thing is, the catch is that there's only 5 of them that can get initiated into the Alexandrian Society. So one of them has to, and this is the sequel to that. And I'm very excited. I love the first one so much. I hope I'm not going to be down by this one. I haven't looked at any reviews. I haven't looked at anything. I am staying away from any and all opinions about this book because I want to just form my own when I read it, and I'm so excited. Also, this book was a gift from my lovely friend Sarah, so thank you so much, Sarah, for gifting this to me for my birthday. Technically, this is a book that I was so much anticipating this year, and this is one of the best gifts ever, so thank you so much. Next up is Elle Brooks made me buy it, and that is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I have heard Elle talk about this quite a bit on her channel, and she was saying that it's just so atmospheric and so cute and so good for this season. And wow, the font is gigantic. This is gonna be an easy read. I've also heard Rachel, Ravenhead Reader, I think that's her channel name. I will leave her link down below. She was raving about this, and there's a few other people that have been reading this and absolutely loving it. And this is a YA fantasy, gothic fantasy, about a woman or a 19-year-old girl whose family just starts dying, and then she goes and tries to discover her aunt's murder or something like that. I don't know much. All I know is it's gothic, it's creepy, and it's perfect for the season. It's atmospheric, so I'm hopefully I can just still read this one in November, because it sounds like a good book for November since I didn't end up reading it in October. And of course, I saw this cover and I thought this is definitely the superior cover. This cover is so freaking beautiful. I need to get it, and I ended up getting it, and that's it. Like I said in my Elle Brooks taste testing, she recommends a book, sounds mildly interesting to me. I get it, especially when it has this beautiful cover. Next up is a maybe a hasty purchase, but I did get the 30th anniversary edition of The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I have not yet read this one as of buying this book, as of filming this video, and probably as of posting this video. I know I haven't read this book yet. I own the paperback, which I'm gonna annotate. I already know I'm gonna love this. This is that one book, just kind of like Babel, where before reading it, I already know I'm gonna love this, that this is gonna be an all-time favorite. So when I saw this special edition at the store, I had to get it. It's just a hardcover, and it has like nice end pages, and it just looks like an old book, you know, and I thought, okay, this is just stunning for my shelves. I can tear into the paperback without remorse, and now I have it, and here it is. So I really hope that I do end up loving it. Anyway, I think this book is so beautiful that if I don't end up loving it, I can still keep it because, I mean, it's beautiful. Next up is a book that in my unending quest to find Dark Academia books, I watched a lot of Dark Academia recommendations videos here on YouTube, and one of my favorite content creators ever, Ashleigh, Frolic Through Fiction, will also leave her link down below, of course. She recommended Tiepolo Blue, I think that's how you say it. She was reading this in a video, and then there's another girl whose channel I just discovered recently. I don't remember her channel name, but if I find it, I will leave it linked down below. And she was also reading this and recommending this as a good Dark Academia book. And I honestly don't remember anything. It's Cambridge 1994, that's all I know. And like, look at these end pages. I mean, stunning. This on the hardcover. When I saw this in store, this was the only copy they had, and I ended up getting it immediately. I took it off the shelf and I was like, Sarah, do I need this? She said yes. So then I bought it. Don't go book shopping with a bookworm, book dragon, because they're enablers. Sarah, you were an enabler if you're watching this, and I'm so glad I got this because I'm just so excited. I'm so excited for more Dark Academia in my life. Like, what do you want me to say? I just love this subgenre, okay? Very excited about this. Don't remember anything about it, but I just don't want to read it. Next up, we have a book that I had to get while I was in Paris with Sarah, and that is Bunny by Mona Awad. We buddy read this at the beginning of the month of October, and we both ended up really, really liking this a lot. We ended up calling each other to talk about this when we read it. We talked about it when we were in Paris together, and she bought this copy, I bought this copy, and we're gonna reread it and annotate it. And we ended up really, really loving this, and I think this cover is anyway super stunning. It'll definitely stand out on my shelf of like dark books, but yeah, then I ended up really liking this book, so I wanted to have my own copy and buy it with Sarah in Paris. Felt really, really perfect, so I did get it there. And then the final two books of this haul, I got these at Shakespeare Co. If you don't know, Shakespeare Co is just a lovely, lovely bookshop in Paris, and it's just an experience going there. Like, there's a line to get in. It's just stunning. If you're ever in Paris, you have to go to Shakespeare Co. It's just amazing. And I got 2 books there because I wanted to get these stamped, and I felt like it was, again, I was there with Sarah, and I bought books in favorite series of hers, in series that I'm either already reading or gonna read and I know I'm gonna love. And so I got them, and I got them stamped there. So the first one I got is The Veiled Throne by Ken Liu. I own the first and the second book in these editions. Have I read them? No. Am I absolutely confident I'm gonna love this series? Yes. From what I've heard from Sarah, from what I've heard from Abby, from what I've heard from everyone, I think I'm gonna absolutely love this. So when I saw The Veiled Throne, I knew I had to get it, especially in Shakespeare Co, because they stamp your books if you want. And so I have it stamped from Shakespeare Co. I have this as a memory of going with Sarah to Shakespeare Co. and buying this book with her, talking about this. She's talked my ear off about this series at this point, so I definitely know that this is going to be a priority series for 2023 for me. I'm so excited. I'm even debating starting it now, but no, I need to just finish series this year before starting new ones. But I'm very excited to get to this, and this is a chunky boy, but I'm glad I got it. Final book in this haul is a very Sarah book. Sarah loves Robin Hobb. I have been making my way through Robin Hobb. She is one of my favorite authors at this point in time. At the time of filming this, I am reading Ship of Destiny, and I already owned all the Tawny Men books. So the only books of hers that I didn't own were the Rainwild Chronicle books and the last trilogy, the Fits of the Fool trilogy. And so I didn't want my Shakespeare & Co. stamped book to be a Rainwild book. People say that that's her lesser series in the realm of the Elderlings. And so I know I wanted to get a book in the Fits and the Fool trilogy, but I didn't know which one to get. But because Sarah had been talking my ear off about the last book in the realm of the Elderlings, Assassin's Fate, I ended up getting Assassin's Fate because this book is not, first of all, stunning. Like this bronze and oh my goodness, and turquoisey, this is stunning. And I just knew I had to get it there with Sarah. Again, I got it stamped. This will forever and always be a very special moment of getting this with her as she was talking to me about, we talked a lot about Farseer because that's what I've read, and as I was there, I hadn't started Ship of Destiny yet, so we talked about Life Ship up until Mad Ship and Farseer a lot, and she kept on telling me, girl, when you read Assassin's Fate, you're gonna sob through the last 200 pages of that. It's so good. And so I just knew that when I saw Assassin's Fate at Shakespeare Co, it felt like fate, and I got it, and I got it stamped, and I'm super excited to continue on my way in the series. This is going to be definitely a priority series as well for next year. I want to finish The Realm of the Elderlings ASAP with my friend Sophia, who buddy reading it, so very excited for this. That, my dear friends, is my Parisian book haul, if you will. I am super happy with all of these books. Now I just have to read them, which is gonna be, well, for some of them they're already read, so, you know, not too bad. But I have to get a cracking and read all these books and all the books on my shelves, and it's just too many books, too little time. Ain't that the truth? So, let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these and what you thought of them. Let me know what was the last book that you purchased. And if you just want to let me know that you were here, you can leave, of course, a dragon emoji. And until next time, take care of yourselves and happy reading. Bye, guys.